Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Gemini and Sagittarius on Wednesdays. But I do just want to let you guys know, in case you're interested, that the deck that I'm using today is called the Kawaii Tarot. And that's Kawaii Tarot. Also, I do want to let you guys know, in case you're interested in getting a personal reading, that my information to book is in the description below. So, I do just want to give you guys a little bit more insight on how I shuffle my cards. I usually have some cards that flip over in the deck. I do see them. However, my main goal is to really only take cards that jump out. And usually if they jump out in groups that are too big, I'll go ahead and put them back in and continue shuffling. But I'm trying here to grab roughly 8 or 9 cards for you guys. And then we can get started. Let me just shuffle these because I put those cards on the bottom. Okay. So I'm just going to put your overall energy in the upright because I don't read overalls in the reverse. But I do just want to let you guys know that in case you enjoy the reading, the best way to let me know is by leaving a like or a comment. And your overall energy is the 8 of Pentacles. Now, the 8 of Pentacles is actually a really nice card to have. The 8 of Pentacles is usually a card that talks about career and education. So to me, the 8 of Pentacles is one of those cards that's representative of getting some skills. Really honing your skills and making more money as a result. So I'm thinking that for a lot of you guys, you're really trying to leave some kind of impact on how you do things and how maybe even other people do things. So this card is very much tied into finances and stability for me because it has that pentacle energy. But more than that, it is representative of things that you would do in order to produce more stability. Also, we have the Knight of Wands here and the Ace of Cups. So that to me tells me a couple things. The Knight of Wands is a message that brings forth with it a lot of passion. And the Knight of Wands usually has this energy of like one night stands or just like sexual connections, right? Or somebody who comes into your life and leaves just as fast. He gets a very bad reputation for having that kind of energy, but I feel like this person doesn't necessarily mean to do that, and it's not coming from a bad place because we have the Ace of Cups here, which to me tells me that there's some genuine love and genuine emotion here. And with the Ace of Cups here, it leads me to believe that there may be a lot of potential for some kind of a connection further on down the road because we have the Two of Cups as well. So that's a couple things that we need to talk about is the fact that we have the 1 going into the 2, which to me symbolizes progression because whenever we have cards that have progressing numbers of the same suit, to me it feels like there's a lot of movement there. And also the Two of Cups in itself talks about soulmate connections. So for a lot of people, this can mean soulmate connections, twin flame connections, sometimes even karmic connections, but that's a little bit more controversial. But like I was saying, this to me feels like a longer term kind of connection, even though the basis of it, the beginning of it, is sort of this more passionate route. I think that for a lot of you guys, this might start off as like a friends with benefit kind of situation, and then you see that there's some very real potential there, and that leads to sort of this new beginning. It's very interesting that we have the Judgment in reverse. So the Judgment to me feels like one of those cards where it can have a lot of multiple different meanings, but I think that this is telling us that you should not have sort of like a closed mind and should not be very should not be very judgeful because the Judgment is in the reverse. And to me, this feels like there's a need for fairness because oftentimes the Judgment in the upright talks about fairness, right? And maybe even mercy. But I feel like because it's in reverse, you need to be careful of things that do not work out, right? That things that may tip the scale into one direction or another. So be open-minded, but at the same time, do not allow yourself to be taken advantage of or put in an unfair situation, because I feel like this might be a situation where this person might suggest something that sounds good in their head, and they may not necessarily even see that there could be any way of like this not being a good deal for you. And then you're like, well, there's this and that problem, so you need to voice that in order for you to actually achieve this fairness. So there's a lot of conflicting energy here, because we see this Ace of Cups and this Two of Cups, but then we see the Nine of Cups in reverse. So this to me might feel like an opportunity that is almost lost here, because the Nine of Cups is a card all about wish fulfillment. And because it's in reverse, it feels like this might not be your wishes. This might not be like your typical type or expectations here, because we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So it feels like for a lot of you guys, you might still be stuck on another person, or might be waiting for another person to come in, especially since this Queen of Swords can be representative of air signs, which are Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. So I think that for a lot of you guys, an air sign might have a lot of influence in your love life currently. And now it's kind of a matter of just allowing yourself to go with the flow. I don't see the Temperance card, but I feel kind of that Temperance card energy, to where you need to just kind of do what it is that you do. Because I think that if you take some time to focus on yourself first and foremost, you're going to see a lot of success, because this Eight of Coins here is a card all about your work and your success in your career. So I feel like if you take this energy first and then you sort of focus on all this other love stuff, it'll kind of come on its own. But I think that it's very important that you sort of take the path of least resistance, because I see this Five of Wands here, and the Five of Wands is a card about conflict, about strife, about fighting, about competition too. So this could sometimes even represent somebody who is kind of playing the field, has multiple people, competition in that regard. And then we have this Page of Wands with the Knight of Wands, and those are both like lower vibrational, kind of a little bit more immature kind of passionate energy. So take the path of least resistance, where there is no fighting, there is no conflict, there is no competition, because you don't want to be focusing on your work, on your school, on your study, your career, and all that stuff, and then have to compete for somebody's love. Like, I feel like you guys are just over that. Maybe like in the past, you know, the whole like chase and like competing and that kind of deal kind of sounded fun to you or whatever, but I feel like at this point you're not really looking for games anymore so much, as you are just like a genuine heartfelt connection. And I know that perhaps some of you in the past would have gone like, ew, gross, but like now it feels like you're kind of shifting your mentality a little bit, because even though other people are in this Knight of Wands, Page of Wands kind of energy, you feel a lot more mature in your energy. It feels like you're wanting to take a lot more of these steps to move towards sort of commitment, or just like a more quote unquote adult kind of connection, right? Because I see the Six of Wands here. Like, it doesn't feel like you want to try to compete or try to lose or have that potential to lose or whatever. It feels like you just want things to progress in a way that makes sense. Because we have the the Five of Wands going into the Six of Wands, so we have that same energy that we had here with the Ace into the Two, where it feels like things are moving forward. So I feel like you guys want a pretty quick connection. You want something where it feels very magical. If you can feel the love, you can feel the connection, and you can feel the passion, but you also want it to work out, and you don't want it to get in the way of your personal goals. So, Sagittarius, that was your reading for Summer Round. If you enjoyed, please leave a like or a comment, because it really helps out the channel, and I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new Gemini and Sagittarius videos on Wednesdays. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless videos that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.